Rain was hitting the car so hard it almost sounded like someone throwing rocks at the windows. Not normal rain. That heavy kind, where the whole road disappears every few seconds and your headlights feel useless. Ryan kept both hands tight on the steering wheel, leaning forward like it would somehow help him see better. "Bro, I'm telling you, we should have stayed at the motel," Jake said from the passenger seat, wiping fog off the window with his sleeve for the 100th time. "And sleep next to cockroaches." "Nah, I'm good." Jake rolled his eyes. "At least cockroaches don't get people killed." Ryan laughed a little, but not fully, because honestly, this road felt wrong. They'd been driving through the forest highway for almost 2 hours now, and not a single car had passed them. No gas station. No houses. No signal. Nothing. Just endless trees. Dark. Wet. Endless trees. In the back seat, Mia was asleep with headphones on, while Ethan kept scrolling through his dead phone like it would magically start working again. "No service. Again," Ethan muttered. Double quotes, "Bro. You've checked like 50 times, Ryan said. "And it's still annoying." Lightning flashed across the sky. For 1 second, the forest lit up bright white, and Ryan saw something standing between the trees. Tall. His hands tightened instantly. "What the hell?" "What?" Jake asked. Ryan looked again. Nothing there. Just darkness. No, nothing. But his heartbeat had already changed. That weird feeling crept into his chest, the kind you get when your brain notices something before you fully understand it. Then the GPS screen flickered. Everyone noticed. The map glitched hard for a second before turning black. "Oh, come on," Ethan groaned. Ryan hit the screen with his palm. Nothing. Then suddenly it turned back on by itself. But the map was gone. Only one line of text remained on the screen. Turn back. Silence. Jake frowned. "Yo, did one of you do that?" "Do what?" Ryan replied. "That." The text stayed there. Bright against the dark dashboard. Turn back. Mia slowly pulled one headphone off. "What happened?" "No idea." Ethan muttered. Ryan forced a laugh. "Probably just the GPS bugging." Then the text changed. Now nobody spoke. Rain hammered harder against the windshield. Jake sat up straighter now. "Okay, no, that's weird." Ryan tried pressing buttons again. The GPS suddenly shut off completely. Dead. The car got quieter somehow. Not literally quieter. Just tense. Like the air changed. Mia looked out the back window nervously. "Do you guys feel that?" "Feel what?" "I dunno. Like we're being watched." Ethan laughed nervously. "Yeah, by trees." But nobody really laughed with him. Ryan kept driving, because what else were they supposed to do? The road was too narrow to turn around easily anyway. And stopping out here? Hell no. Another lightning flash hit the sky. This time everyone saw it. A figure standing directly in the middle of the road ahead. Ryan slammed the brakes instantly. The tires screeched across the wet asphalt. Mia screamed. The car slid sideways slightly before stopping hard. Everyone's breathing went heavy. The headlights pointed straight at the figure. Tall. Human shaped. But something about it wasn't right. Its arms hung too low. Almost to its knees. And it wasn't moving. Not even in the rain. "What the actual hell is that?" Ethan whispered. Nobody answered. The figure just stood there, head lowered slightly, face hidden by darkness. Ryan grabbed the high beams. Click. The brighter lights hit the road, and the figure was gone. Completely gone. Jake immediately looked around. No, where'd it go? Mia's voice shook. Drive. Ryan didn't argue. He hit the gas hard. The car sped forward through the storm. Nobody spoke for almost a full minute. Only breathing. Rain. Engine noise. Then Ethan suddenly said quietly, "Guys." Nobody answered. He swallowed hard. "I think there's someone outside the car." Ryan frowned. "What?" Ethan pointed slowly toward his window. And that's when Ryan heard it. Tap. Something was hitting the glass. Softly. Slowly. Like fingernails. Everyone turned. Outside Ethan's window, something was running beside the car, keeping pace with them, and smiling. Mia screamed so loud Ryan almost lost control. Again, the thing outside wasn't fully visible in the rain, but they saw enough. Pale skin, huge smile, eyes to dark, and it was moving, unnaturally fast beside the speeding car. Oh my god, Jake shouted. Ryan slammed the accelerator, harder, but the thing kept up easily, still tapping the glass, still smiling. Then suddenly it tilted its head and whispered something. Even through the storm, they heard it clearly. You shouldn't be here. And then it vanished, just gone. Ryan's hands were shaking now. Nobody even tried pretending this was normal anymore. What the hell was that? Mia cried. I don't know. The forest around them somehow looked darker, now deeper. Like the trees were closing in closer to the road. Then the engine light came on. Ryan stared at it. No. The car jerked suddenly. Once. Twice. Then the headlights flickered. Jake looked terrified now. Bro, don't tell me the car's dying. It's not dying. The engine jerked again. Harder. Rain kept pounding. And then the car shut off completely. Everything went black. The car rolled silently down the wet road before stopping. No engine. No lights. Nothing. Only rain. And darkness. Pure darkness. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then slowly, from somewhere outside in the forest, they heard whistling. Soft. Almost playful. Coming closer. The whistling got closer. Slow. Calm. Like whoever was making that sound had absolutely no fear. And honestly, that was the worst part. Rain still hammered against the car roof, while all four of them sat frozen inside the darkness. Nobody even wanted to breathe too loud. The sound circled the car once. Then stopped, right outside. Mia grabbed Ryan's arm so hard her nails dug into his skin. Tell me that's a person. Ryan didn't answer, because deep down, he already knew it. WAS and single quotes. Jake slowly reached for his phone flashlight. The second the light turned on, something slammed against the passenger window. Bang. Everyone screamed. A face pressed against the glass. Pale. Wet. Smiling unnaturally wide. Its eyes looked cloudy, almost dead. And its mouth way to big. Jake dropped the phone instantly. Darkness again. Oh my god. Mia cried. The thing outside started laughing. Not loud, not crazy. Quiet. Like it genuinely found them funny. Then dash. Tap. Tap. Again. This time on Ryan's window. Slow fingernails dragging across the glass. Ryan's breathing got heavier. Don't look, Ethan whispered, but Ryan already was outside. His window nothing, only rain. He almost relaxed. Then lightning flashed. And the thing was suddenly inches from the glass, staring directly at him. It smiled somehow, even wider now. Ryan jumped back hard. Jesus Christ. The creature tilted its head slowly, then mouthed 4 words. You let us. Its headlights suddenly flickered back on for half a second, and Ryan saw more figures standing between the trees. Not one. Dozens. Tall silhouettes scattered through the forest, watching the car, watching them. The lights died again. Instantly. Nope. We're getting out, Jake said quickly. Ryan stared at him like he was insane. Outside. You got a better idea? Nobody did. The engine wouldn't start. Phones had no signal. And whatever those things were, they weren't leaving. Another whistle echoed through the forest. Closer this time. Then came another one, answering from deeper in the trees. Mia started crying quietly. I don't want to die here. Ryan swallowed hard. We're not dying. He didn't believe himself, but he had to say something. Ethan suddenly sat forward. Wait, what? He pointed ahead through the windshield. Far down the road a light. Small. Warm yellow light, like a building. Everyone stared at it. Jake spoke first. You see that too, right? Ryan nodded slowly. The light flickered through the rain. Maybe a house. Maybe help. Maybe literally their only option. We go there, Ethan said immediately. Ryan hesitated. Something felt wrong about it. Actually, everything felt wrong. but sitting here wasn't an option anymore either. Another loud scrape dragged across the roof of the car, like something crawling over it. Mia screamed again. Get out of the car, Jake shouted. That was enough. Ryan grabbed the flashlight. Jake opened the passenger door and instantly freezing rain hit them sideways. The forest smelled wet, rotten somehow. Like dead leaves and mold. The four of them ran together down the road toward the distant lights. Behind them the car alarm suddenly started going off by itself. Loud, violent, echoing through the trees. Then it abruptly stopped. Silence again. Except now they could hear footsteps behind them. Not human footsteps. Too fast. To many. Ryan didn't look back. Nobody did. The light ahead slowly became clearer. A building. Small wooden cabin. Near the road. One light on inside. That has to be people, Mia said desperately. Ryan hoped so. God. He hoped so. They reached the porch fast, nearly slipping on the wet wood. Ryan pounded on the door hard. Hello. Please. Nothing. Jake banged harder. Open the door. Behind them the forest moved, shapes shifting between trees. Closer now. The whistle came again. Right behind them this time. Mia started sobbing. Then suddenly click. The cabin door slowly opened. Warm yellow light spilled. Outside. An old man stood there. Tall. Grey beard. Holding a lantern. His expression changed instantly when he saw them. You kids need to get inside now. They didn't hesitate. All four rushed in immediately. The old man slammed the door shut behind them and locked it fast. Heavy locks. Multiple. Like he'd done this before. The cabin smelled like smoke and old wood. Small. But warm. Safe. At least compared to outside. The old man peeked through the curtain carefully, then stepped back. You saw them on the road, didn't you? Nobody answered at first. Then Ryan nodded slowly. The old man looked genuinely worried. That means they marked you. A cold silence filled the room. Jake frowned. Marked us, bro. What are those things? The old man didn't answer immediately. Instead, he walked to the fireplace and threw another log into the flames. Only then did he speak. They weren't always like that. Ryan's stomach tightened. What do you mean? The old man stared into the fire. Years ago, people disappeared in these woods, Mia whispered quietly. Disappeared how? They drive through at night, just like you. Lightning flashed outside. The old man continued. Some crashed, some vanished completely. But the ones who came back. He stopped. Ryan leaned forward. What about them? The old man slowly looked up. They came back wrong. Nobody moved. Nobody even blinked. Jake forced a nervous laugh. Okay, no. You're messing with us. The old man didn't smile. At first they looked normal. He continued quietly. But after a few days, they stopped acting human. Rain battered the cabin windows harder. The fire crackled softly. And then something scratched the cabin wall. Outside. Long. Slow. The old man froze. Instantly. So did everyone else. Another scratch. Closer. This time. Then came that same smiling whisper from outside. Let us in. Mia buried her face into Ryan's shoulder. Jake backed away from the windows. The old man grabbed the shotgun leaning beside the fireplace. His hands shook slightly. They found you faster than usual, he muttered. Ryan's throat went dry. What do you mean faster? The old man looked directly at him. And whatever Ryan saw in his eyes made his blood turn cold. Because one of you, a pause, already belongs to them. Double quotes. Silence. Heavy. Terrifying. Then suddenly 3 loud knocks hit the cabin door. Boom. 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 And a familiar voice came from outside. Ryan's voice. Open the door. Nobody moved. Nobody even breathed. Ryan stared at the cabin door, while his own voice echoed again from outside. Come on, man. It's freezing out here. Mia slowly backed away from him. Jake noticed immediately. Yo, why are you looking at him like that? She thinks it's me. Ryan snapped. Another knock hit the door. Boom. Then the voice laughed softly. exactly like Ryan's laugh. "Nah, seriously, open up." Ethan's face went pale. "That's impossible." The old man raised the shotgun carefully toward the door. "Don't answer it," he whispered. Outside the fake Ryan sighed dramatically. "You really gonna trust him over me?" Ryan felt cold all over, because the voice outside sounded perfect. Every detail, every little tone. It sounded more like him than recordings of his own voice. Mia whispered shakily. "How does it know what you sound like?" The old man answered quietly. "They learn." Another silence. Then the thing outside scratched slowly across the door. "Ryan." That whisper almost sounded hurt. "Why'd you leave me out here?" Jake cursed under his breath. "Nah man, this is sick." The old man stepped closer to them. "You listen carefully now," he said quietly. "No matter what you hear tonight, do not open that door." The thing outside laughed again. Then another voice joined in, Mia's voice. "Please let me in." Mia immediately started crying harder. "No, no, no, no." Then Ethan's voice joined to then Jake's. One by one. All of them outside now, talking over each other. Begging. Laughing. Whispering. Scratching. Like a crowd wearing stolen voices. Ryan's head started hurting. "What are they?" he asked. The old man stared at the door. "They mimic people." "That doesn't answer anything." The old man hesitated, like he didn't even want to say it out loud. Then finally, "They're what's left of people who stayed in these woods too long." Lightning flashed outside. For 1 second, shadows moved across the windows. To many shadows. Ryan looked carefully and realized something horrifying. The shadows weren't standing still. They were crawling across the cabin. Walls, upside down, like spiders. Jake saw it too. Oh hell, nitrogen monoxide. The old man suddenly pulled all the curtains shut. "Don't look outside after midnight," he said sharply. Ryan frowned. "Why?" The old man answered instantly. "Because if you see them clearly, they can see you back." That sentence made the whole room colder. Somehow. Then the lights flickered. Once. Twice. Mia gasped. The old man cursed quietly and grabbed an oil lantern from the table. "You got generators?" Ethan asked. The old man shook his head slowly. "No electricity out here." Everyone froze. Then what was flickering? The cabin lights blinked again. This time longer. The old man slowly looked toward the hallway leading deeper into the cabin. And, for the first time since meeting him, he looked afraid. Actually afraid. Ryan noticed immediately. "What?" The old man didn't answer. The lights flickered again, then stayed on. But something changed. The cabin suddenly felt bigger. Ryan frowned. The living room definitely hadn't looked this long before. The hallway seemed stretched. Now. Deeper. Darker. Jake whispered, "Yo, was that hallway always there?" Nobody answered. Because honestly, Ryan didn't remember. The old man slowly raised the lantern. "That's not good," he muttered. Mia grabbed Ryan's arm again. "What's happening?" The old man looked at them carefully. "They're trying to pull the cabin into the forest." "What does that even mean?" Before he could answer, a loud thud came from upstairs. Everyone jumped. Another thud. Heavy footsteps walking slowly across the ceiling. Jake looked horrified. "Tell me you live alone." The old man's silence answered for him. The footsteps stopped directly above them. Then a voice whispered from the ceiling. Very softly. "Found you," Mia screamed. The old man cocked the shotgun instantly. "Get away from the stairs," he ordered. Nobody argued. Ryan backed up slowly while staring upward. The ceiling creaked. Dust fell lightly onto the floor. Then came scratching. Directly above them, like fingernails dragging slowly acrossward. Ethan whispered, "How did it get inside?" The old man answered, without taking his eyes off the ceiling. "If you hear them long enough, eventually they don't need doors anymore." That sentence nearly broke Ryan's brain. The scratching stopped. Complete silence. Then the hallway light turned off by itself. Darkness swallowed half the cabin instantly. And, deep inside that hallway, someone stood there. Tall. Still. Watching them. The lantern light barely reached it, but Ryan could see enough to know it looked human. Almost. Its smile was too. Why? Again. Always the smile. Jake whispered shakily. Why do they keep smiling like that? The old man answered quietly. Because they don't understand emotions. The figure in the hallway suddenly tilted its head unnaturally far sideways. Bones cracked loudly. Then it sprinted forward. Fast. Way too fast. The old man fired. Instantly. Boom. The shotgun blast exploded through the cabin. The creature slammed into the wall violently. Black liquid splattered everywhere. For 1 second it stopped moving. Then slowly it started laughing. Even with half its face blown apart, Mia started hyperventilating. Ryan grabbed her shoulders. Look at me. Look at me. But honestly, he was barely holding it together himself. The creature twitched on the floor unnaturally, its limbs bending wrong. Resetting. Fixing themselves. The old man backed away slowly. That shouldn't happen. The thing's broken jaw snapped back into place with a horrible crack. Then it smiled again, wider than before. And behind it more shapes appeared in the hallway. Darkness. Watching. Waiting. Dozens of glowing eyes. Ryan felt his chest tighten. The old man whispered something Ryan barely heard. They've never entered the cabin before. Then every creature in the hallway smiled together and spoke at the exact same time. You opened the road. The lantern suddenly exploded. Darkness swallowed the cabin instantly, and something grabbed Ryan's ankle. Ryan hit the floor hard. Something cold wrapped around his ankle and yanked him backward across the wooden floorboards. Fast. To fast. He clawed at the floor desperately, while Mia screamed his name somewhere in the darkness. Ryan. The cabin sounded completely different now. Bigger. Wrong. Like the walls had stretched miles apart. The creatures were laughing everywhere at once. Not normal laughter. Broken. Glitch. Why? Like human voices copied badly. Ryan kicked wildly until his foot connected with something soft. The grip loosened for 1 second. Enough. He ripped himself free and scrambled backward blindly. Light. We need light. Jake shouted somewhere nearby. Then dash. Boom. Another shotgun blast lit the cabin. For half a second, Ryan saw everything in one horrifying flash. The hallway was packed with those things now. Tall smiling figures stacked shoulder to shoulder, twitching unnaturally while trying to squeeze through the narrow space. And the old man, he was bleeding badly. One of the creatures had ripped open his shoulder. Dark blood soaked through his shirt. The flash vanished. Darkness again. More screaming. Furniture crashing. Ryan crawled toward where he thought the others were. Then suddenly a flashlight clicked on Ethan. Shaking violently while holding the beam forward. The light hit the hallway, and every creature froze instantly, completely still, like mannequins, not even blinking. Nobody moved. The silence became unbearable. Then one creature slowly smiled wider. And took a step forward anyway. Ethan's voice cracked. Why isn't it stopping? The old man grabbed him hard. Don't let the light shake. Too late. Ethan's trembling hands made the flashlight beam twitch slightly and the creatures moved. All at once, the hallway exploded into motion. They rushed forward screaming in stolen voices. Ryan grabbed a chair and swung blindly at the first one reaching him. Crack! The creature's neck bent sideways violently, but it kept crawling toward him anyway. Mia was crying uncontrollably now. Jake dragged her toward the kitchen area, while Ethan kept the flashlight aimed desperately. The old man reloaded the shotgun fast. You kids need to leave. Now. Ryan stared at him like he was insane. Leave and go where? The old man pointed toward the back door. There's an old fire tower deeper in the woods. Ryan almost laughed. Deeper in the woods. Are you serious? Another creature lunged from the darkness. Boom. The old man blasted it backward. Yes, I'm serious. The creatures began circling again, instead of charging directly now. Learning. Watching. That somehow made them even worse. The old man grabbed Ryan hard by the shirt. Listen to me carefully. The tower has floodlights. They hate strong light. Then come with us. The old man looked toward the hallway. then at the creatures slowly crawling across the ceiling now. And Ryan understood instantly. He wasn't planning to survive. "You lock the tower doors," the old man said quietly. "Don't stop for anything pretending to be human." Another pause, then softer. "Especially if it looks like one of you." Ryan's stomach dropped. "What does that mean?" The old man didn't answer, because suddenly Mia screamed. Everyone turned. One of the creatures was standing directly behind Ethan. Smiling inches from his face. It whispered softly, "You forgot to count." Then it shoved Ethan violently into the wall. The flashlight flew from his hands. Darkness swallowed the cabin again. The creatures rushed forward immediately. "Run!" the old man roared. Ryan grabbed Mia's hand, while Jake kicked the back door open. Freezing rain blasted inside. Instantly, the four of them sprinted into the forest. Behind them, the old man fired the shotgun repeatedly. Boom, boom, boom. Then silence. No more gunshots. Just rain. And distant screaming. Mia nearly collapsed while running. "We can't leave him. We don't have a choice," Ryan shouted back. Branches whipped against their faces as they ran deeper between the trees. The forest somehow looked impossible now. The trees were taller. Crooked. Twisted unnaturally. And the darkness between them looked almost alive. Ethan panted hard beside Ryan. "Where's the tower?" "No idea." Lightning flashed overhead again. And for 1 second Ryan saw people standing between the trees. Dozens. Watching silently. Some smiling. Some missing faces entirely. Some moving upside down across branches. Then darkness again. Jake suddenly stopped. "Wait." Ryan turned instantly. "What?" Jake looked confused. "Where's Mia?" Silence. Ryan's heart stopped. She'd been holding his hands seconds ago. Now gone. Completely gone. Only 3 of them stood there now in the storm. "Mia," Ryan shouted instantly. No answer. "Just rain." Ethan spun around frantically. "She was right behind us." Ryan's breathing became panicked now. "Mia." Then from somewhere deeper in the woods Mia screamed. Far away. Way too far away. Jake looked terrified. How did she get that far that fast? Another scream echoed, then abruptly cut off. Ryan immediately started moving toward the sound. Jake grabbed him hard. "Bro, stop. That's Mia." "No, that sounds like Mia." Ryan froze, because Jake was right. Something about the scream felt repeated, like audio played through broken speakers. Then the voice came again. "Closer now. Ryan, help me." Ethan backed away immediately. "No. The voice sounded wrong now. Still Mia's voice, but stretched weirdly. Almost layered. "Please." Then another voice joined it. Ryan's voice. "Help us." Then Jake's voice. Then Ethan's. All calling from different directions inside the forest. The trees around them suddenly felt endless. Maze like. And Ryan realized something horrifying. They didn't know which direction the road was anymore, or where the cabin went, or where the tower even was. The forest had swallowed everything. Then Ethan whispered quietly, "Guys." Ryan turned. Ethan was staring upward, slowly pointing into the trees above them. Ryan followed his finger, and his blood turned cold instantly. Hundreds of smiling faces stared down at them from the branches, perfectly still. Watching. Waiting. And then every single one opened its mouth at the same time. "Found you." The trees exploded with movement. Those things dropped from the branches all at once, not jumping, not falling. Crawling. Fast. Their limbs bent in impossible directions as they slammed into tree trunks and sprinted toward them through the rain. "Run," Ryan screamed. The 3 of them bolted deeper into the forest blindly. Branches snapped around them, while those creatures crashed through the woods behind them, laughing in stolen voices. Ryan could hear Mia's voice mixed into the noise, now crying, begging, laughing, all at the same time. Jake nearly slipped down a muddy slope, but Ryan caught him fast. "We're gonna die out here," Ethan shouted. "No, we're not." Ryan didn't believe that anymore. Not even a little. The forest was changing, actually changing. The deeper they ran, the less normal things looked. The trees were wider now. Massive. Their bark twisted like human faces trapped inside wood. Some of them moved slightly when lightning flashed. Watching. Breathing. Ethan suddenly stopped hard. Guys, Ryan turned angrily. What now? Ethan pointed ahead. Ryan's stomach dropped. The road, the exact same road. They'd somehow circled back. The dead car still sat there in the rain. Headlights off. Engine dead. But something was different now. The car doors were open. All of them. And someone sat inside. Ryan slowly stepped closer. No way. The figure in the driver's seat looked exactly like him. Head lowered slightly. Not moving. Jake whispered, "Bro." The fake Ryan slowly lifted its head and smiled. Rain poured down its pale face while its eyes locked onto the real Ryan. Then every car door slammed shut at once. Bang. The fake Ryan suddenly started banging its head violently against the steering wheel. Again. Blood smeared across the dashboard. Mia's voice came from inside the car. "Ryan, please help me." Ryan stepped back instantly. That's not her. The fake Ryan stopped moving. Its neck slowly twisted sideways with a horrible crack until its face pointed directly toward them. Then it whispered through the windshield, "You left her." Lightning flashed. And suddenly the fake Ryan was gone. The driver's seat empty again. Ethan looked like he was about to throw up. This isn't possible. Then the car engine turned on by itself. Rim. The headlights flicked on instantly. And the thing driving the car smiled at them from behind the wheel. Not fake Ryan anymore. Something worse. Its face kept changing every second. Ryan. Mia. Jake. Ethan. Switching rapidly. The car suddenly accelerated toward them. "Move," Jake shouted. They dove aside just before the car flew past violently through the mud. The thing inside laughed while speeding into the darkness between the trees. Then crashed. A massive impact echoed through the forest. Silence followed. Ryan slowly stood up, breathing hard. Rain soaked through everything now. Nobody spoke. Then they heard it. Crying. Real crying. Weak. Human. Meme. This time it sounded different. Not distorted. Not layered. Actually real. Jake looked uncertain. "You think that's really her?" Ryan listened carefully. The crying came from somewhere ahead through the trees. "I think so." Ethan looked terrified. "Or that's exactly what they want." Nobody knew what to do. But then Mia screamed again. Pure panic. "Please." Ryan ran toward the sound instantly. Jake cursed and followed, while Ethan reluctantly came after them. The forest became thicker the deeper they went, too thick, like the trees were intentionally closing around them. Then suddenly they reached a clearing and froze. Mia stood in the center of it, covered in mud. Crying. Alive. Ryan immediately rushed toward her. "Thank God." Jake grabbed him violently before he reached her. "Wait," Ryan snapped angrily. "What?" Jake pointed downward slowly. Ryan looked, and his blood froze. Mia wasn't touching the ground. She hovered slightly above it. Just barely. Like her body didn't fully understand gravity anymore. Mia looked up slowly, still crying, but her smile began stretching wider. "Oh no." Ethan whispered. Mia's jaw cracked unnaturally as it widened far beyond human limits. Then she spoke in multiple voices at once. "You came back." The clearing erupted with movement. Dozens of creatures emerged from behind trees instantly. Ryan, Jake, and Ethan turned to run, but stopped immediately, because the forest behind them was gone. Completely gone. Now there was only darkness, endless black space where trees should have been. Jake's breathing became panicked. "What is this place?" The fake Mia slowly floated closer, her feet still not touching the ground. The creatures around her smiled silently, watching. Waiting. Then the fake Mia whispered, "The forest is hungry tonight." And suddenly the ground beneath Ethan moved. Hands burst from the mud and grabbed his legs. Human hands, dozens of them, pulling him downward. Ethan screamed horribly while sinking into the earth. "Help me!" Ryan grabbed Ethan's arms instantly, while Jake tried pulling too. But the mud wasn't mud anymore. It moved like liquid flesh. More hands emerged. Grabbing. Pulling. Touching. Whispering. Ethan cried in panic. he sank waist deep. There under the ground, the fake Mia tilted her head and smiled wider. They never left. Ryan pulled harder desperately. Then Ethan suddenly froze, completely still. His terrified expression vanished instantly. Now he just looked calm. To calm. Slowly, he smiled. Ryan let go immediately. Oh no. Ethan looked up at him with dark empty eyes, then softly whispered, "You should have let go sooner." The hands dragged him under instantly. Gone. Just mud again. Silence filled the clearing. Jake backed away, shaking violently. Ryan. The fake Mia pointed slowly behind them, and deep within the darkness a giant light turned on. Far away through the trees. Tall. Bright. The fire tower. Ryan stared at it, breathing hard. The fake Mia smiled wider. Run. Every creature in the clearing suddenly started screaming and charged at them together. Ryan and Jake ran harder than they ever had in their lives. Behind them, the forest sounded alive, branches snapping, creatures screaming, those stolen voices echoing through the trees from every direction. Sometimes Mia's voice, sometimes Ethan's, sometimes their own. Ryan, Jake, wait for me. They ignored all of it. The fire tower light burned ahead through the rain like the only real thing left in the world. Tall. Rusted. Barely visible above the trees. Jake was breathing so hard he nearly collapsed. Please tell me this thing has power. It has too. Ryan panted. Lightning ripped across the sky again. For 1 second, Ryan looked behind them and instantly regretted it. The creatures weren't running anymore. They were crawling on all fours. Now. Fast. Way too fast. Their limbs bent backward as they rushed through the mud unnaturally, smiling the entire time. Some climbed tree trunks beside them, keeping pace easily. Watching. Waiting. One of them whispered beside Ryan's ear even though nothing was there. You're almost home. Ryan shoved the fear down and kept running. The tower finally came fully into view. Old metal stairs spiraled upward into darkness, while massive floodlights pointed out across the forest. Most were dead. Only one still worked, flickering weakly. Jake grabbed the railing first. Go. The metal stairs groaned loudly as they climbed. Rain made everything slippery. Below them, the creatures reached the bottom of the tower, but strangely they stopped. None of them climbed. They just stared upward, smiling. Ryan frowned while climbing. Why aren't they following us? Jake didn't answer, because honestly, that was worse. They reached the top platform and slammed through the tower door hard. Ryan locked it. Instantly. Both of them collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. For the first time in hours, silence. Only rain hitting the tower roof. Jake laughed nervously. We're alive. Ryan looked through the tower windows carefully. The creatures still stood below. Watching. Perfectly still, like they were waiting for something. That's not normal. Ryan whispered. Jake followed his gaze. Yeah. Why'd they stop? The tower room looked ancient. Dust everywhere. Old radio equipment, broken chairs, maps hanging on walls. And in the center, a huge spotlight control panel. Ryan rushed toward it immediately. Please work. He flipped random switches desperately. Nothing. Again. Nothing. Then suddenly one floodlight outside powered on. A massive beam cut across the forest. The creatures below instantly screamed. Not angry screams. Pain. Several ran back into the trees immediately. Jake laughed in relief. Yes. Ryan quickly turned more switches. Another light powered on. Then another. Soon, half the forest around the tower lit up bright white. The creatures retreated farther back now, still watching, but no longer approaching. Jake collapsed into a chair, laughing shakily. Bro, we actually made it. Ryan wanted to believe that. He really did, but something still felt wrong. Easy. Then dash creak. Both froze. A sound from downstairs. Inside the tower. Jake slowly stood up. Tell me that was you. Ryan shook his head slowly. Another creak echoed upward. Heavy footsteps climbing the stairs below them. Slow. Deliberate. Jake whispered. No. Ryan grabbed an old fire axe hanging beside the wall. The footsteps continued upward. Clang. Metal Stairs vibrating beneath whoever or whatever was climbing. Then came breathing. Wet breathing. Ryan stepped closer to the stairwell doorway carefully. Who's there? No answer. Only breathing. Then Ethan's voice. Guys, open the door. Jake immediately backed away. Hell, nitrogen monoxide. Ethan knocked softly from below. Please. I got away. Ryan's grip tightened on the axe. Because the voice sounded perfect. To perfect. Jake shouted downward. You're dead. Silence followed. Then Ethan laughed softly. Not normal laughter. Broken. Like earlier. You saw me die. Ryan froze. Because technically, they hadn't. The thing pretending to be Ethan suddenly spoke. Again. You left me there. Its voice began changing. Mid-sentence. Deeper. Wrong. You always leave people behind. Ryan slammed the stairwell door shut instantly. Unlocked it. The thing below immediately stopped, pretending. Its body hit the metal stairs violently. Clang. Clang. Something rushed upward at full speed. The stairwell door shook hard. Jake grabbed another lock desperately. How strong are these things? The banging stopped suddenly. Complete silence. Then a child's voice whispered from below. Can I come upstairs? Ryan felt sick instantly. Jake slowly stepped back from the door. No man, no. Then came another voice. The old man from the cabin. They got inside. Ryan stared at the door in horror. It kept switching voices every few seconds. Now. Mia. Ethan. Ryan. Random strangers. Children. Laughing. Crying. Begging. All from behind the same door. Then the tower radio suddenly turned on by itself. Loud static exploded through the room. Both of them jumped. A distorted voice crackled through the speaker. Still alive. Ryan slowly approached the radio. Hello. Static. Then a woman's voice came through. Clear this time. If you're in the tower, do not let it reach the top floor. Ryan's eyes widened. Who is this? Static crackled again. Listen carefully. The tower light keeps them weak, but only until midnight. Jake looked at his watch slowly. 11:40 p.m. Ryan's stomach dropped. What happens at midnight? The radio stayed silent for a second. Then the woman answered quietly. They stopped pretending. Lightning flashed outside. And, for one terrifying second, Ryan saw a gigantic shape standing deep in the forest beyond the floodlights. Massive. Taller than the trees themselves. Watching the tower. Its eyes opened slowly in the darkness. The radio woman whispered, "It's awake." Then the floodlights flickered. Once. Twice. And downstairs something started smiling in Ryan's voice again. The floodlights flickered harder. Outside. The forest kept flashing between bright white light and complete darkness. Every time the lights dimmed, the creatures moved closer. Not by walking, just suddenly being nearer than before. Ryan gripped the fire axe tighter while staring out the tower windows. That giant thing deep in the forest was still there, barely visible between the trees. Tall. Still. Its eyes glowed faintly through the rain. Watching. Waiting. Jake whispered, "Bro, what is that?" The radio crackled again before Ryan could answer. "Don't let it see you directly." The woman's voice sounded panicked now. Ryan rushed back to the radio. "Who are you?" Static hissed loudly. Then, "My name is Sarah. I used to work here." Ryan frowned immediately. "Work here?" Another flicker hit the tower lights. The banging downstairs suddenly stopped. That silence somehow felt worse. Sarah continued quickly. Through the static, the forest wasn't always like this. Jake laughed nervously. "Yeah, no kidding. You need to listen," Sarah snapped. "Because if that thing reaches the tower before sunrise, you won't stay human." The room went cold. Ryan slowly asked, "What thing?" Lightning flashed outside again. The giant silhouette moved slightly this time. Trees bent around it unnaturally. Sarah whispered through the radio, "We called it the Hollow Man." The name alone sounded wrong somehow. Like the tower itself didn't want to hear it. Ryan looked outside carefully. "That thing made those creatures?" "No," Sarah answered instantly. "It found them." Silence filled the tower. Then Sarah continued, 30 years ago, this forest became a government research zone. Jake stared at the radio. Of course it did. Ryan ignored him. Research on what? A long pause came through the speaker. Then Sarah answered quietly, fear. Ryan frowned. What does that even mean? They discovered something beneath the forest. Another pause. Something alive. The tower lights flickered again. Longer this time, outside. The creature smiled upward from the darkness. Sarah kept talking quickly now. They thought human fear could feed it, strengthen it. Jake looked horrified. Nope. I already hate where this is going. Ryan's throat tightened. And did it. The radio crackled violently. Then, yes, lightning exploded across the sky. And, for 1 second Ryan saw the giant thing clearly. Its body looked almost human. Almost. But its chest was completely hollow. An endless dark hole where its torso should have been. And inside that darkness faces moved. Hundreds of faces, screaming silently inside its body. Ryan stumbled backward in horror. Oh my God. Jake saw it too. What the hell was that? The hollow man slowly tilted its massive head toward the tower. Then every floodlight around them dimmed slightly. Sarah's voice became urgent. It knows you can see it now. Downstairs the thing beneath the stairwell door started laughing. Again. But now multiple creatures laughed with it from below, like the entire tower was filling up. Ryan looked toward the locked stairwell. How many are down there? Sarah answered quietly. Probably all of them. Jake nearly lost it. All of them. The stairwell door suddenly bent inward slightly. Metal screeched loudly. Something enormous hit it from below. Boom. Ryan jumped back. Instantly. Another impact. Harder. Boom. The lock started cracking. Sarah's voice became distorted through the radio. Listen carefully. There's one way out. Ryan rushed toward the radio again. What way? You have to reach the underground station beneath the forest. Jake stared in disbelief. Underground what? Sarah ignored him. There's an emergency burn system there. Ryan frowned. Burn system. Static screamed through the speaker. Then Sarah answered softly. They built it in case the forest spread. Double quotes. Silence. Ryan slowly realized what she meant. His stomach dropped. You mean burn the entire forest? Yes. Jake shook his head immediately. That's insane. Sarah's voice turned colder now. You saw what's inside those woods. Another violent impact slammed the stairwell door. The metal began tearing open. Long, black fingers slowly pushed through the crack. Ryan backed away in horror. The fingers bent unnaturally while scratching at the floor. Then, a smiling eye peeked through the gap, watching them. Sarah kept talking fast. The station is beneath Blackwater Lake. Ryan froze instantly. The lake. A memory hit him suddenly. Earlier during the drive they'd passed a sign. Blackwater Lake to Milless Road. The forest. The loop. They'd never escaped the area at all. Jake whispered. We've been going in circles. The smiling eye behind the door widened. Then, dozens of other eyes appeared beside it. Watching through the crack, Sarah's voice lowered. The forest traps people. Ryan slowly looked around the tower, room. And noticed something horrifying. The windows no longer showed the same forest. Every window showed different places. Now. One showed the road. Another showed the cabin. Another showed endless darkness. And one showed Mia standing outside the tower smiling, but upside down, clinging to the wall like an insect. Jake saw her too. Oh no. Fake Mia slowly tapped the glass from outside. Tap. Then whispered through the window somehow. You should have stayed in the car. The stairwell door suddenly exploded. Inward. The lock snapped completely. Long pale arms reached through the opening. More laughter filled the tower. Sarah screamed through the radio. You need to leave now. Ryan grabbed the fire axe instantly. How do we get to the lake? Static crackled violently. Then Sarah answered with one final sentence. Follow the dead trees. The radio died Completely silence. Then the emergency floodlights outside shut off. Every single one. Darkness swallowed the tower instantly. And below them, something huge began climbing the stairs. Not like a human. Slow. Heavy. The entire tower shook with each step. Thud. Thud. Ryan stared into the darkness, breathing hard. Then a deep voice echoed upward from below. Not copied. Not fake. Ancient. Hungry. Double quotes found you. And suddenly all the creatures downstairs stopped laughing at once. Like even they were afraid now. The tower shook harder. Thud. Thud. Whatever was climbing those stairs now, it wasn't one of the smiling creatures anymore. This was something else. Something bigger. Ryan could actually hear metal bending beneath its weight. Jake backed toward the windows slowly. Ryan gripped the axe tighter. We jump. Jake stared at him like he'd lost his mind. From here, another massive impact shook the tower. The stairwell wall cracked slightly. Ryan looked outside. Rain still poured violently over the forest, but far in the distance he saw it, a line of dead trees, completely pale against the darkness, like white bones stretching through the woods. The lake's that way. Jake looked terrified. Bro, if we jump from this height. The stairwell door suddenly folded inward, completely. Not broken. Folded. Like soft paper crushed by giant hands. Then silence came. Heavy silence. Ryan slowly stepped backward. Huge shadow filled the stairwell, too large to fit properly inside. And then the hollow man bent down into the room. Ryan's entire body froze. Up close, it looked worse than his brain could process. Its body was made of stretched black skin wrapped around something impossibly thin. Its arms dragged across the floor like ropes. And inside the hollow space in its chest, faces moved endlessly in darkness. Human faces. Crying. Screaming. Mouths opening silently. Jake whispered shakily, "That's people." The hollow man slowly tilted its head. Then every face inside its chest suddenly looked directly at Ryan. All at once, and spoke together. "You opened the road." Ryan stumbled backward. "What does that mean?" The hollow man took one slow step forward. The tower groaned loudly beneath it. Another sentence came from the hollow darkness inside its chest. "You let us through." Memory suddenly slammed into Ryan's head. The GPS. Turned back. Now. The figure in the road. The moment he kept driving. Oh God. Ryan realized it. This entire thing started because he ignored the warning. Jake suddenly shouted, "Move." The hollow man's arm shot forward instantly. Way too fast. Ryan barely dodged as the massive hand smashed through the wall behind him. The tower began collapsing. Metal screamed loudly around them. Jake kicked open a side emergency ladder hatch immediately. Go. Both of them scrambled onto the outside ladder, while the tower shook violently. Behind them it was finally awake. The hollow man crawled after them through the broken wall, not climbing normally. Its limbs stretched unnaturally down the tower exterior like a giant spider. Ryan nearly slipped from the rain while climbing down. Below them, the forest creatures gathered silently around the tower base. Watching. Waiting. Not attacking, like they already knew what would happen. The hollow man descended faster. Way faster. Its long arms slammed into metal around them, while faces inside its chest screamed silently. Jake panicked. "It's right above us." Ryan looked down desperately. The ground was still far below. Too far. Then lightning flashed and Ryan saw Blackwater lake ahead through the trees. Huge. Still. Pitch black. And near the shoreline a metal hatch built into the ground. The underground station. The hatch. Ryan shouted. Jake saw it. Hope hit them both instantly. Then the hollow man grabbed Jake's leg. Jake screamed horribly. Ryan grabbed Jake's arm immediately, while dangling from the ladder with one hand. The hollow man slowly pulled Jake upward. Its chest opened wider. The faces inside screamed louder now. Jake cried in panic. "Don't let go." Ryan pulled harder desperately, but the thing was too strong. Way too strong. Jake directly at Ryan, and suddenly Ryan saw acceptance in his eyes. "No," Ryan whispered. Jake forced a terrified smile. "Don't stop this for me." Then Jake let go himself. The Hollow Man pulled him upward instantly. Jake's scream echoed through the storm, then abruptly stopped. One more face appeared inside the Hollow Man's chest. Smiling. Ryan felt something break inside him, but survival took over. He jumped the rest of the way down the ladder and hit the muddy ground hard. Then ran. Everything behind him screamed. The tower finally collapsed completely with a deafening crash. Ryan sprinted through the dead white trees toward Blackwater Lake. The underground hatch stood slightly open now, like someone had recently used it, or something had come out. Ryan reached it, breathing violently. Metal stairs descended deep underground into darkness. Behind him the Hollow Man emerged from the forest slowly. No longer rushing. No longer hunting, just walking toward him calmly. Like it knew he had nowhere left to go. Ryan looked down into the hatch. Then back at the monster. And climbed down. The underground station smelled old, burned. Rotten. Emergency red lights flickered weakly through narrow concrete hallways. Ryan slammed the hatch shut above him, unlocked it instantly. For 1 second silence. Then the entire hatch dented inward from above. The Hollow Man had reached it already. Ryan ran deeper into the station. Warning signs covered the walls. Biohazard containment failure, evacuation denied. Then Ryan reached the main chamber. And froze. The entire underground facility had been built around something impossible. A massive hole. Endless. Descending deeper than the lights could reach. Black roots crawled slowly from inside it across the walls and floor like living veins. And surrounding the pit hundreds of burned bodies. Scientists. Workers. People who never escaped. Ryan whispered weakly, "What is this?" Then a voice answered behind him, "You finally found it." Ryan spun instantly. Sarah stood there. Real. Holding a shotgun, but her expression wasn't relief. It was guilt. Heavy guilt. Ryan stared at her. "You worked here." She nodded slowly. "We all did." The hatch above them exploded open violently. The Hollow Man's scream echoed through the station. Sarah looked toward the sound nervously, then back at Ryan. It wasn't supposed to wake up. Ryan stepped closer angrily. "What is IT?" Sarah looked at the endless pit and whispered, "We never gave it a name." The roots along the walls began moving faster now. The whole facility trembled. Sarah's eyes filled with fear. Because once something has a name, it can follow you anywhere. The Hollow Man dropped into the station hallway behind them. The lights exploded. Darkness swallowed everything. Then every face inside the Hollow Man's chest opened its eyes at once, including Jake, including Ethan, including Mia. And together they smiled at Ryan. The emergency burn system suddenly activated automatically. Warning sirens screamed across the station. Sarah looked horrified. No, Ryan shouted. "What's happening?" Sarah looked at him with tears in her eyes. "The forest is spreading." The station computer voice echoed through the darkness. "Emergency purge initiate." Adrian's breathing stopped. Sarah whispered, "If the fire reaches the lake." The Hollow Man smiled wider. "It won't stay trapped anymore." Then the entire underground pit opened its eyes, and Ryan realized the Hollow Man wasn't the real monster. Something beneath the forest had been watching all of them the entire time. And now it was finally awake.